Hi everyone, so if you remember a while back I created this, well I say created, I repainted this plain coffin that I had plain from the arts and crafts store. It used to have it used to be this wood with this design on, which I didn't like, and I changed the light in it, so it's like a steady glow and a steady change of light. Whereas the thing that come with it was very flashy, and I didn't like that because it was very like in your face. And then what I've done is I've made this little dude to go inside, and this is a little Ned Feratu, and I've made him a bit flat because I'm not very good at sculpting from clay. Oh, and I've made him some fluffy slippers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair that. I've been using this Das clay. I'm not a fan. I think I've been spoilt by using epoxy sculpt for so long. But I find Das clay very hard to work with. But this is the little dude I've created. Let me just plug in my glue gun so I can fix him. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to paint him. But first of all, I'm going to fix his foot, and then I'm going to stick it in the box. I could have made him a bit more 3D, like I did with like when I made Winnie and stuff. But I wanted him to look like he's I don't know. It just yeah, that's what I made. So anyway, I'm going to get my paintbrush. And first thing I'm going to do is get some black paint on him. I'm just using acrylic paints for this and some water. And I've made him sectional just because it's easier. Just easier to paint it if he's sectional. And one thing I'm quite pleased with, I'm getting better at hands. Okay, so I've given him some fluffy blue slippers. Because my character Ned, even though he's a vampire, he likes cute stuff. And he, you know, he likes to be comfortable. That's why he's got his fluffy slippers on. I'm just going to put a bit of colour on his face. I normally paint him light blue, but like I want a really light blue, so I'm just mixing some white and blue together, see what colour I come up with. And I did record a full video on how I made this. Unfortunately, me being the idiot that I am sometimes, I needed more space on my iPad, and I saw that as the thumbnail and thought, well, I've already uploaded that video. So I deleted it, and then I realised after it was the file on how I made this. So I was a bit cross that I've actually managed to ditch the file I needed, but never mind. So I thought, well, I'll show you me painting it instead. And at the minute, I'm just whacking the paint on at the minute. I'll go over details that need to be different colours and stuff later. And all I've done is hot glued him into the coffin. Because he's fairly lightweight. Doesn't, you know, it's not going to take a lot to hold him in. And I'm using my slightly bigger brush because, quite frankly, I'm being lazy at the minute. But I will go through with my tiny brush for details later on. Like I've got to go in between the fingers and stuff. So this is just me blocking in the main colours. I'm not too worried about his pillar because I know I'll go over that anyway. The only thing I tend to find with this clay stuff is it sucks the paint in. So you have to keep your paints quite wet. Come on, in you go. There we go. Another tip as well is to do paint from different angles. I'm just going to paint his eyeballs on board now. So I'm trying to go around it and it's just getting harder and harder. I'll just cover it up after. So I'm just blocking in his colours. And then I've got to go over any bits where I've got blue on his cape. But yeah, Ned's a character I've had for quite a few years now. That old video, which I'll put a link to in the description, I've got that old video where I made a puppet, which was Ned. First of all, we started off as a clay doll. That's my character Ned. He's also a character I draw in my cartoony style when I do my cartoony stuff. And he's basically, he's a vampire obviously, but he's a vampire who is slightly uncomfortable with being a vampire. Like he kind of just wants to be a regular person, like a regular human, but doesn't quite know how to fit in, and obviously can't 100% fit in because, you know, he is a vampire. And he likes kittens and fluffy slippers, and likes to watch TV at the weekends. You know, he likes to do what he calls human stuff. And obviously still has to have his vampire diet, but I don't know. I kind of imagine him having quite a sort of like, I don't know, quite a softy styled bedroom. Like he's a big softy, so like I imagine he'd have a room where he'd still have stuffed toys and stuff, but like he'd have dark stuff as well, you know, sort of more vampire appropriate stuff as well. And, you know, he likes the dark stuff and the creepy stuff, but at the same time he's a big softie. Does not want to smudge the paint. I suppose kind of, I don't know, in a way Ned's like what I would be like if I was a vampire. So, you know, likes the dark stuff but still likes the cutie stuff as well. I need to switch brush it, because that brush is good for like little bits, but it's not easy for getting in the tiny nooks and crannies. So what I'm going to do now is switch to, what's this one? It's my 3-0 round, so I can have a bit more control over the fine line, because I've got to go in between his fingers. This is the hardest bit, is painting all the little teeny weeny details. It's getting there. It's hard to get in all the little nooks and crannies. I'm just trying to, I suppose I should have painted him first really before putting him in here, but it was getting annoying trying to hold on to him and then paint, so I just stuck him in. Oh well, it'll just mean lots of touch-ups. And I'll try and make his cape stand out a bit more in a bit. Probably dry brush over the top of this. In fact, I almost certainly will, because I've got to go over and make his like details of his wrinkles and stuff show up. First things first though, let's clean off my brush. Let's do his eyes. That's one. And if you're wondering why I've given him big bulgy eyes and one eye is bigger than the other, that's how I always draw my characters. I always give them one eye bigger than the other. I think it looks funny. So that's how I always do them. Because he's based off one of the cartoony drawings I've done. So I need a slightly darker version of his skin tone. So I can go in the creases. It's not dark enough. Yeah. Wonder why he looked weird. I forgot his eyebrows, that's what it is. Put his eyebrows in. There you go, getting that. Right, let's paint the rest of the inside of this coffin. Because when I first did this, I didn't paint the inside because I thought, well, no one's going to see the inside. It's fine. So I just made sure that there was the light in there. And to do the light, it is literally just, this is just an LED tea light. Oops, with the cover on the LED removed, and then literally I've just wedged it in there so that when it's turned on, it will sort of make it glow in here. So I did originally have it so it'd just be like a half, like a coffin that's slightly open with like an ominous glow inside. But then I was thinking the other day, what else could I do? And I thought, well, I know, I'll make a little Ned to go in here. And I think it was my daughter actually who said I should make a little Ned to go in here. So that's what I decided to do. I always like going back to art projects I've made, and if I can improve them or add bits to them. So yeah, I quite like the quite like the idea of adding a little dude in here, so that's what I did. There he is. Right, let's get his slippers to show up the texture a bit more. So what I've got to do is dry off my brush, get a bit of white. I'm going to have my brush, oh, helps if it's clean first. I'm going to have my brush as dry as possible. I'm just going to dry brush over the top. Okay. Oh, caught the black. Oh, that's not all good. Okay. Let's start again then, shall we? I'll have to paint them blue and just wait for them to dry. What else do you need? I need to go over there where I've got a dot of paint on your cloak. And I think after that, just a bit of dry brushing over the top will do the trick. Got the most awkward brush. Did not pick the best brush for this. There he is. Showing up a bit better now. Right, so on his face I'm going to need some slightly highlighted areas. So I reckon if I dry brush my lighter blue over the top of that, dab my brush off. I'm going to try and get as little paint on my brush as possible. It's one of the reasons why I've got a glass top to my desk. Here he is. And then last thing I've got to touch up is around his pillow, where I'll just touch the sides. What colour should I do his pillow? Do it like a grey, I think. Right, can I dry brush these shoes now? Let's have a look. Oops. I'm going to try dry brushing the slippers with a slightly smaller brush. There we go. Just makes them look a bit fluffier. So if I'm trying to use the brush I was using, I was just getting black paint everywhere. So there's little fluffy shoes. Put a bit of white on there as well. Because I did add texture into the sculpt of the shoes to make them look like they're fluffy. Kind of. And then I've just got a dry brush over his hand. And one thing I realised I forgot, which is silly, he's got a thumb. There it is. I painted his thumb black, left it. Oops. And then the last little thing I want to put on is give him some little black nails. So if I don't accidentally touch his outfit first. Or I'll do his thumb because it'd be too awkward. And then I'll just go touch up where, just smudge the there you go. Just touch up where I've wrecked this dry brushing. And then the only other thing I've got left to do is I've got to paint the inside of the lid. Because it's going to look a bit weird if I've painted everything else and then left the lid. Oh yeah, and there's a little bit of clay there. I've put that little blob of clay there in the corner. It makes the lid stay half open because I don't want this to be shut tight. And I like the fact that if you look at it from certain angles, you can see Ned lying in there. And then obviously if you open it up, you'll see Ned. And then that goes in like so. So you can either have it where it's got a glow to it, which is hard to see in this light, but it does glow all the way across. And then when you open it up, you've got Ned. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.